Hey there, Nation's Next Top Model Home. This is Tim Skelfy. Hope you guys are doing great. I wanted to address you guys, the viewers, on some comments that were recently made from the past two webisodes on my room and some design decisions that I did in my room. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to address some of those things. Way back when we were first cast as a designer for the show many months ago, the producers came to us and they outlined the show's parameters. They went over what we would be doing, how we would be doing it, the timeline. In our business world of design, this is called the design program. And the program was essentially that we would be given a model to design a specific space or spaces with a given budget and a given timeline. The producers, in fairness to all the designers, since the models were slightly different in the overall square footage of each of the models, they decided that they would pick, each model would have a given amount of square feet, approximately the same size. So some people that got a bigger house might only have 2 rooms, and those that got maybe a townhouse or a smaller house might have 2 or 3 spaces to do, but it was about the same square footage for each of the designers. The parameters were that we had those spaces to do. Those were the required spaces to do. In my case, I selected the Bellamy as my model, and I was required to do the foyer and the living room. Those were the spaces that were required. The second parameter that was given us is the budget. There was a $5,000 budget which was provided by the developer, thank you, for the models, for each of the designers. And then each of the designers had an additional $5,000 of their own money which they could spend should they choose to do that. So the total fixed budget required, or the parameter set, was $10,000 for each of the designers. $5,000 from the developer, $5,000 of our own money. The third and final parameter was the timeline. We had 28 days to do the project from start of August 1st to the end of August 28th. So that was our design program. And I'm really shocked and confused, not really confused, just in awe of some of the designers making comments about why didn't I go outside my required spaces. Ridiculous. We were given the design program of doing the spaces that we were required to do. In my case, the living room and the foyer. And I wanted to stick within those spaces. To me, there was really no reason to go out beyond those spaces with the very limited budget that we had. I wanted to spend my money in the areas that were given to me and do quality work like I do for all my clients currently. I could not help the design that I got because it was selected from a name in a hat as far as the model that we were given. Also, I didn't design these houses. They were already previously designed. So the living room was wide open to the sunroom, to the breakfast room, to the kitchen, and the dining room, and the foyer was too. But that wasn't my problem. My design program was to design the 2 spaces that I was given. No problem. And it's interesting because a lot of my comments about several of the designers' rooms was the fact that because they went outside their required spaces, even though the budget didn't change, they decided to do more spaces than they were required to do. And in doing that, they spread themselves way too thin. And this is clearly evident, in my mind, in Jill's room and in Amy's room. I think given the $5,000 that they did, and they were so proud of sticking close to that budget, they spread themselves way too thin. And I've said this in my previous critiques of their rooms, and I'm going to rehash that, but they weren't properly accessorized. They did a little here, a little there, and a little there, and therefore it just didn't look finished. And so that's why I'm really shocked that they're saying that I should have done other spaces that were not required to do and use money and spread it all over the place. Well, to me, that's not what I do, and that's not what design is about. We listen to our clients, in this case, the producers of the show, and we do what we do. We do the rooms that we're required to do and do a fantastic job with the price point that we're given, and that's what I did for this show. So the other thing is, I guess in terms of that, when you start spreading yourself thin, you have to get lesser quality product to use in your spaces. And going to Habitat for Humanity or junkyards or neighborhood finds are great, but the kind of clients that I work with and the majority of the clients that I have worked with for years now, don't want me to find stuff at junkyards or backyard sales. I mean, they want quality things for a reasonable price. So I try to give them good quality design at a very good quality price. And that to me is professional design. It's providing a service, meeting the parameters in the design program that is set by the client and you as the designer, and following those guidelines. I can't help if these other designers decided to not follow the guidelines and go outside their scope. That to me tells me they weren't really listening to what the producer said. And I'm very disappointed that they think that I should have not listened to the design program and done more than what was required. So I'm very happy the spaces I did. I think the foyer and the living room came out superb. I'm very excited about them. And I'm looking forward to wrapping everything up this Saturday at Compass Point. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your votes and your support of my room.